So it's been about a week since having the DB12 to shoot with the private jet. So I've had time to think about the whole experience, work out what I missed on the day, and if there's anything I'd like to do better next time. But I've also had a lot of questions from you guys on the organisation of it, how I was able to pull it off, and if I had any advice on how you could put together something similar. So, firstly, things I forgot. Image stabilization. In the first in-car shot, I forgot to turn on image stabilization, and some of that footage is so shaky, it looks like... I normally have it off because it can sometimes fight against the gimbal, so if I'm using the camera on a gimbal, I turn it off. Lesson learned on that one. The intro scene of the car was very run and gun. I literally just drove to the first car park or the closest car park, found a quiet corner at the back and just went for it. I think the shots actually came out really good, but I do wish I had have had a location planned specifically for this shot. Yeah, I think if I was going to do it again, I'd have somewhere in mind to film those intro shots. I didn't capture any photos of myself. It was a very rare opportunity to get that kind of photo. So I wish I had have just got a shot of me with the car and the plane. But I just completely forgot. I didn't get any vertical footage specifically for Instagram. I wouldn't say I forgot this. I just feel like I ran out of time. Swapping the gimbal from horizontal to vertical can be a bit of a faff. In fact, I'll show you. You've got your camera, so we're mounted horizontal. So if we wanted to make this vertical, take the camera off, and then we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna grab the vertical mount, chuck this on there somewhere. I'm gonna tighten that. I'm loosening it. Come on in, there we go. Then we're gonna mount the camera again somewhere, and then we would have to go through balancing the gimbal all over again. So yeah, I didn't forget. I just felt like I only had a limited amount of time with the plane, and by the time I kind of thought about it, there wasn't enough time to swap everything around. I didn't go inside the plane at all, and everyone I've actually spoken to since has been like, "Oh, did you go inside?" And I completely forgot to ask, and I'm sure I would have been able to. I think a really cool shot would have been inside the plane, looking out of the window at the car, but I just forgot to ask. I also think it might have looked better on some of the shots if the doors to the plane were open as well. It might have made it look a bit more authentic, but next time. I think that's about it. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how everything went, considering it was my first time doing anything. So yeah, not too bad. Now, let's get to your questions, and the big one that everyone is asking is how I got the car. Now, this is the dream. So for anyone who wants to film cars, this is the gold standard, being given the keys and being able to create content with the vehicle uninterrupted and unsupervised is the ultimate. So I'm not surprised that you all want to know how I managed to do that. Now, I don't think I'm the best person to speak on this because I've only ever done it once. But one thing I did notice, or I have noticed, is all of the big people that I follow that do this, some of which do it professionally, they do not talk about it. They will never discuss how they get access to the cars. So I'm going to tell you what I think went in my favour, and if you want to emulate that formula, then go for it. A few months ago, I completely remarketed myself. So I created a new username, I created a new email address, new branding, everything. I made sure that everything was obviously about cars, and that included deleting content that wasn't car related. It makes it immediately clear to businesses what I do and why I'm likely reaching out to them in the first place. Meta verified, the blue tick. Now, when this came out, it caused a lot of controversy to the point where people were attacking each other or trying to make people feel stupid for paying for it. But if you're advertising a service through social media, you should absolutely be willing to spend some money each month to promote that business. And like it or not, it's hard to miss it. And it's only like 12 quid a month. So you don't have to have it, but I think it worked for me. The following. Now, this is a really tough one because it's hard to grow a following without having the cars to create impressive content with that's going to help you grow. But without that following, getting access to the cars and the events can be really difficult. So I'm not going to tell you how to grow a following. I don't know. I've been on Instagram since 2015 and I haven't reached 20k yet. I still haven't had my big viral moment. It's not the most important thing in the world. Ultimately, the quality has to be there, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't think it was a factor. The pitch. Now, at the end of the day, I had access to the airport and the jet agreed before I ever asked anyone for a car. And even that wasn't enough to get most people on board. So putting something together that ensures there's value in there for all parties seems to be the best way. And if you can come up with that and you can get all of that approved, then all you can do is ask. And I recommend you do ask. So something that I heard last year was, what if I told you you were 25 no's away from having a £1 million business? How quickly would you want to get your first no? And how fast would you try and get your second no? So there's only so many no's between you and what you want. I think that'll do. I've talked enough for today. I hope you found some of that useful. It's been useful for me to go through it all again and recap on the good and the bad. So that's decent. But for now, I'm going to go find some food and catch you later.